Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be what's in my work bag. So we're actually going to pack it together. I head back to work the beginning of September. I'm a teacher, in case you are new to my channel. I'm a high school teacher. I'm a fairly seasoned teacher at this point, I would say. So I know what works for me, and for me, these are just the essentials. Now, I should also preface this by saying I do have my own classroom, which is really nice. I know that sometimes teachers have to share classrooms. And in addition to that, I drive to work, so I can also keep a lot of items in my car. So my work bag, I like to keep, like I said, just the essentials, and so it's not really weighing down because I often have to take additional things with me daily for my job. So let's pack this up. We are going to be using this one. We're going to start off with this one, and this is my new Longchamp Le Pliage in the British green. I love her. I would say throughout the year, I switch my bags up quite often. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. But I will show you a couple of handbags that I've used pretty consistently. This one is by Want Les Essentiels. I've had it now for quite a number of years. It is a leather handbag, very light, very reminiscent of the Saint Laurent totes that went viral, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, but I really do like this one. It's just a big empty tote. This is actually what I was using at the end of last year when I was going into work. So I took a number of things out of there. And then I picked up this one, I would say in February. I also really love this one. This one is just perfect because it's the black Longchamp, so it goes with everything. It doesn't get dirty. It's the Energy line, which is definitely my favorite. So highly recommend Longchamp totes, but I also use my Kuyana and my brown Songmont Your tote. I believe that's what it's called, quite a bit. So we're gonna pack this one up. And like I said, these are my essentials. So if you are starting off teaching, some things to note that I would say to always keep in your handbag are things like your medications, if you have any. You don't want to keep that in the classroom just because if you ever leave the room or students have access to the room or custodians or staff in general, then you do have to worry about theft and things being taken. So I always keep my medication with me. I'll always keep snacks with me in my handbag. Feminine products as well. I do keep them in my classroom as well in case students need them. If you are a tote lover like me, then I do have some options for organizers. So this is the first one. I really like this one. I will link this in my Amazon storefront. But as you can see, it is fairly streamlined and it's not too bulky, but it is made out of nylon, so it's fairly lightweight. And the reason why I like it is because it's easy to clean. So the outside, you have 3 pockets here, so it's really great for organizing items and just so you don't have to take a lot of pouches, even though I love pouches. And then the other side has a really large zippered compartment. The zipper also has a little clasp here, and then there's a D-ring if you want to hook anything onto it. And then the inside, and like I said, for using it all year practically, it looks pretty good. There are 3 mesh compartments on one side, so they're just little mesh pockets, kind of like that. I do find that sometimes things fall out of these, just depending on if this falls on its side. And then 3 mesh pockets. Is it 3 and 3? Yeah, 3 mesh pockets on one side, 3 mesh pockets on the other side. And then sort of that open space. And what I do like about this one as well is that there is a zipper, so you can close it if you do want to. So I have a laptop at work, so I don't need to take a laptop with me daily. I also don't take my Louis Vuitton agenda with me, my desk agenda. It typically stays here, and then in the morning I'll take a look at it and I'll see what I need to do that day. And then sometimes I'll just take a picture of it. But I generally don't take that to work with me either, just because it gets pretty heavy. So let's pack this up with just the essentials. So one of the essentials that I'd say that you should always keep in your bag and never in your classroom, unless you can secure it somehow, but even then it gets a little bit tricky, are your medications. So for me, I just have this little cute container. It just says Forget Me Not, and then has all different types of medications, and I've labeled them. Really, I should have also put the date with them, but I keep all my medication in there. And then I do have 3 new meds. Well, not 3 new meds, but 3 packets of them. So these are for migraines. I've begun to get migraines, and I have some vertigo as well. And honestly, it's it's stress induced, which really sucks. So I typically just get migraines during the work year, and they've only happened since I started this new position, which is also unfortunate. But I was just prescribed this new migraine medication, and so I have another separate pouch here, which I'm going to put it in just because I like to keep them separate so that if a student does go through my handbag or something like that, they're not automatically seeing these things. So my medication is going to go into this pouch. This is just a pouch I got from Idle, and then in there I'll put that as well. I also like to keep feminine products with me because you just never know. I tend to get really dry eyes. I've gone through so many of these. These are really convenient because they're individual, so you can kind of just snap one off and there's enough to re-wet both of your eyes. And it's really handy instead of taking a dropper, I find. So I have these in my car as well. They're just by HydraSense. I'm gonna put that into this pouch. And then another thing that I find is really important is one of these sort of portable razors. So TMI, but sometimes you might go to work and realize, oh, you got a little bit of a mustache, or you have like some brows that are like really out of place or something like that. So I like to keep this on hand. It's a go-to. The next thing to me is a lifesaver, and I've talked about this so many times. It's by Sage. It's the Peppermint Halo. I don't even know how many of these little small ones I have, and then I have the big refill bottles, but as someone that suffers from migraines or headaches or just sometimes dizziness, this is a lifesaver. You just rub it on your temples, you rub it, I put it behind my ear, I'll usually put it on my jawline, or put some in my hand and then just smell it, but it's just a little roller ball. Highly recommend it. It's really cooling too. If you tend to overheat, then this is really nice, but it's just, I will always have this on hand. I also have it in my car just because I need this, because like I said, I suffer from migraines. I also learned another migraine hack. There's a doctor I follow on TikTok and she specializes in migraines. I think she's also not a neurologist, it's something else, but she said Diet Coke or Coke plus McDonald's fries. And I guess this is a hack that a lot of people knew, but I didn't know it until this summer, and I tried it, and I don't think it's a placebo effect because it really did work. So that is what's going into this pouch here. This one into the front pocket there, which is going to be zippered. And then as well, I also have this little pouch here. It's from Sage. I can't remember what came in here, but I keep a little bit of makeup. Now, I do have a makeup bag that I keep at work, and I do have a couple of touch-up items in the car if I need to, but this is by Cheekbone Beauty. I love this. I try and keep things that are fairly slim and small and almost travel size because I just don't want to have extra weight in my handbag. This is a tiny little Huda Beauty. I actually haven't tried this one. I did have a small Urban Decay one last year. This one is by Nude Sticks. I have a lot of these. This is really great because you can use it as a bronzer, as like a eyeshadow as well. I wouldn't really use this as a lip balm. And then I also have a tiny little Summer Fridays. Again, you want to use their small kind of little travel size items, I find, because you just don't want to lug around a lot in your bag. And then I also have this one, which is by MFK, and this is Gentle Fluidity in the gold. So it's sort of like a very warm, gourmand smell, very vanilla to me, and I love that. The pouch fits perfectly into these mesh pockets, as you can see there. So now I have my little makeup bag, and then next let's talk about snacks. Now I'm really lucky because I do work in the culinary arts department, so there generally is a lot of food around me if I ever get hungry. But what I find is I never really eat at work because I'm so busy, which is unfortunate. And sometimes I don't even get to use the bathroom the whole day because I'm that busy and you're running around. But let me show you what I have in here. This has become my new obsession. These are the RX bars. I do not like energy bars. I don't like protein bars. I don't like anything like that. To me, they just taste disgusting. But I was really intrigued with these. So this has 3 egg whites. I hate eggs, unless they're baked into something. So like cake, cookies, muffins, anything like that. But in general, I don't like eggs. So this is just 3 egg whites. You can't taste them. They're just there to add in the protein. 14 peanuts, and then 2 dates. And in addition to that, it has a couple of other ingredients. It has unsweetened chocolate, which you get chunks of it inside, which I love. Peanut flour, natural flavor, cocoa, and then sea salt. So I really enjoy these if you're looking for sort of a more natural bar. The sugar content isn't that bad, but it is just coming from the dates essentially. And then I also have a pulparindo, no surprise. And please note that when I go through this, I just refill it. And then I have these, which are also my new obsession. So these are the Roar Plus. They are a little electrolyte mix, and that's also really good if you have migraines. So it's an electrolyte mix, but it also has vitamins in it. It has vitamin B12, which obviously being a vegetarian, mostly plant-based, I would say we tend to sort of lack in our diet. And then it also has a little bit of green tea, so it's kind of an extra boost as well. And then True Lemon, because I love True Lemon. In a Diet Coke, True Lemon just, it hits, okay? If you like Diet Coke, then you need to get the True Lemon or the True Lime. I just prefer True Lemon more. And then continuing on, obviously gum, mints, anything to help keep your breath fresh. I also keep mouthwash at the school. I have a little locker in the bathroom that's just for me, so I always keep mouthwash in there. But gum can go into its own little pouch, and this is why I say this is such a good organizer, because it has all these little pockets. So even though I have a lot of pouches, it just keeps everything nice and organized. And then other essentials that you're going to need. For me, I have really dry skin. I always take lotion with me. I have lotion in the classroom for the students. I like to have my own. I like this one because it's nice and thin. This is the tangerine smell. I also have the vanilla vibes. Vanilla vibes is definitely my favorite, but I like how narrow these are. These are also really great to just keep in your handbags too. And you can get every little drop out because it's a squeezy tube. Wet wipes, tissues. I have tissues in my classroom, but I love to keep these little packs of wet wipes. I got them off Amazon. They're so cute. I think there's 6 wet wipes in here, or 6 wipes. They're called mini wipes. Look how tiny that, like, so this one is from my purse, you can see, because I've been using it. I've gone through so many of these. I think they come in a pack of 12, but I also gave some to my mom. Highly recommend these tiny little wipes. And then, like I said, I always keep tissues with me as well. So let's put this into another pocket. This just came straight from this pouch. It was already in there. So this is just a pair of earrings and a necklace in there, and I just keep it in case for some reason I forget to put on jewelry that day. So this is from, I can't remember, this is from Compass, 20 Compass or something like that. It's a Canadian brand. I don't like it that much, so I just keep it in here as a spare. And then I have a pair of little mini hoops. These are from Amazon. And like I said, these are just spare kind of jewelry that I don't wear that often. At the very end, I always keep a pen. It doesn't need to be a glamorous, nice pen. Just always keep a pen. Usually it's because when we have staff meetings and we have to fill something out, and I always take my bag with me and my laptop. You always need a pen in case you're voting on something. So we're gonna put that in. And then I think we just have my work keys. So I have 2 sets of work keys, my main work key, and then this one opens up like small little cupboards like that. And generally, I like to put my work keys in this outside pocket here, just because I find that it fits in easily. And I can leave this part out like that. And that way I can just grab my keys from my handbag really easily. Inside view of my handbag, you can see that I've used a lot of the pockets on the side. And again, there's also the zippered pocket there, and then the side pockets there. But it just makes it so convenient to take this and just sort of move it from handbag to handbag, especially if you have larger totes like me that really don't have a lot of pockets on the inside. And then last but not least, I have my Longchamp Energy pouch. I think this is discontinued. My mom says she can't find it on the website anymore, which is heartbreaking because honestly, I love this. This is just the perfect size. I took it with me when I went to Mexico. That way I could just take it down to the pool, walk around with it. It was just so perfect. Love this. And I've just been using it in my tote bags because I've been using a lot of tote bags in the summer. Holds my wallet, keys, everything. So I have this little Gucci pouch, and then I have my little mini wallet. I love this one. It's just held up so well. It's by Miu Miu. And then I have my little mini pochette, which okay, see, I have more wipes in there. And you can see there's my vanilla vibes we were talking about earlier. So I mean, when I go to work, I'll probably take this one out because I won't need it. I also have hand sanitizer in there. I have hand sanitizer at work as well. And then I have my Ole Henriksen lip balm. Probably take this out when I go back to work because I have a lot of those items already in there. I have my 6 key ring holder with my new bright orange Volvo key, which I love. My husband has the black one and I took the orange one because I love the pop of color. And then I also have a bunch of my coins in this key pouch, and then I always take this with me everywhere. This has a whole bunch of different gift cards in there. It looks like on the inside now, so as you can see, the organizer just fits in, and there still is a lot of room, so you could put a water bottle on the inside if you wanted to, but everything is just nice and organized in pouches. I mean, will it stay like this forever? Definitely not, but for right now, it works perfectly. So I will link this organizer down in my description box for you. It's in my Amazon storefront. The Pliage Tote is just basically one giant open space. There is a big pocket in the back, which usually this gets filled with just junk, like wrappers if I eat a granola bar or something like that. And then it has a small little pocket on the other side, but that's why this comes in handy. So I'm just gonna put this one in, and it slides in super easy, and as you can see now, it offers a tiny bit of structure to the handbag, but it's just so much easier to get everything inside.